Okay, looks like here we are. We are live, and this is the Wednesday night Team Certainty and Power Network hangout for prospective new members of Team Certainty and Power Network. Thank you, viewers. Welcome for joining in with us tonight. We do these Google Hangouts twice a week. We do them. This is for new members, or prospective new members, that is. We do these Google Hangouts at this time period from 8 to 9 Central Time here in the United States, and then we also do the Hangouts from 11 to 11:30. Saturday mornings. If you kind of see me kind of smiling now, oh, by the way, I've got Mr. Iron Dane Richards down below with me tonight. How are you, Mr. Richards?
Doing great, doing great.
Good. We've been laughing. For those of you that know me, I've got, a huge system here. I've got 8, how many, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 monitors, not counting my laptop. And you hear that clicking in the background? There's some very annoying, to me it's very annoying, clicking going on in the background. And that's I don't know what it is. It's an open website somewhere that I don't know where it is. I just spent the last hour trying to find it, me and Mr. Iron Dane Richards. Anyway, but it's here or there. We'll have to deal with it tonight, a little clicking. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It's I haven't been on a eBay type site or anything like that. I think it's a news site. It's something I can think of, but anyway, I hope we can all put up with it. It's enough stuff. We got a lot going on tonight. Anyway, thank you for joining us this evening. If you're watching this Google Hangout on one of our broadcast pages, YouTube channels, or listening to it on one of the radio stations we broadcast over the internet, thank you for joining us this evening, or whatever time it is in the world where you're at. We have a huge international contingency, and I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that our website is in many different, translated in many different countries. So welcome tonight. We'll get into this here in a little bit. A lot going on with the Power Network, as we've discussed in the previous Hangouts. We'll discuss a lot more of that tonight. Plus, there's actually a Hangout going on right now, and we're going to take a sneak peek into it. Yeah, just a little bit, right? Yeah, and then
tell me when.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna let them get started. You can actually launch it over there on your place, and when you can see that they're going in there and they're talking live, just signal, just let me know. You just tell me, break in if I'm talking, whoever's talking. Hey Gary, how you doing?
Good.
And glad you can join us. And let me know. Let me know it's live, and then we can then I know we can break it at any time. All right.
Yeah, they're live right now.
Are they? Okay. Well, I want to do a little cleanup and introductions here, and then we can switch over there and watch it for a little bit. But there's a lot been going on for prospective new members, and some of the new members that also watch these Hangouts. There's a lot going on in the Power Network up at Charlotte, and we've analyzed it. We've come out with some of the things we think what's going to happen. I've come to a fairly good conclusion on what I think is going to happen. And I'll discuss it. It's a little bit different than what I projected last time, and I'll discuss that when we're done watching this Hangout tonight. But tonight's topic really is all of the changes that are about to happen in the multi-level direct sales marketplace, primarily due to what Empower Network's about to launch. And I don't know what it is. Otherwise I'd say it. That's probably the reason I don't know it. And
that's why I was trying to do 2 Hangouts at once here, boys.
Yeah. So anyway, we've got till the 26th of this month to to kind of get where we need to be, and David Wood, he's going to hammer tonight heavy on get your groups together, and the people that got emails tonight that are watching this broadcast, it's a call to arms, to so to speak, to sign up, and we do that every time we're on this Hangouts. We want people to get to know us more and join. So that's what the buttons are for below, 1 through 3. But some of the things, just so some of the new viewers understand what's going on with the Power Network. The Power Network is they're going to make a big announcement at the end of this month that supposedly is supposed to rock and shatter the MLM industry, and it's coming from David Wood, and they can kind of powder puff a few things and everything else, but I do believe that because of the rumblings I've heard from other people that aren't in Empower Network, how much they're going to enjoy being part of Empower Network that have already signed up. And these are big, Amway, other big distributors. I won't go into, Ramway, whatever, distributors, but and other people. I know personal friends of mine that are in Organo Gold, which I like that company. They're already in as well. So we'll see what they announce in the end of this month in June. And when we're done watching this video tonight, then I'll spend a few minutes as well. Plus, I'll try and get this clicking out of here as well. Gary, can you hear that clicking?
I don't.
Good. Maybe nobody else can hear it. So I can. It's very annoying. But the point I wanted to make earlier is that Empower Network, some of the changes in Empower Network has already rolled out, is that if you sign up, and that's what the buttons are for below, you have 72 hours to go all in at 50% discount. So you have a 50% off, of all the products of Empower Network. That's a huge, huge announcement, that they came out with, and they just started, I think it was June 4th or something like that. And so any prospective new members that are thinking about joining and buying all the products, because that's really what you need to do, is have all the products so you have all the skill sets that you can apply to other areas of your business, online business. It's unbelievably good training, and it's constantly being updated, constantly being expanded. And all of us here, team leaders, we've never bought anything online, since we've joined Empower Network. I take that back. I mean, I bought a couple things only because a couple of buddies of mine, there's software pieces that aren't included in the back office. But the types of trainings, the solo ads, to the different type of print media, the new things that are working, the audio, the video, the Facebook, to SMS broadcasting, techniques that are working real well now, webinars, and some of the other stuff that are coming out, pay-per-click, pay-per-view, and other things that they teach in Empower Network to us. You get it 50% off, huge discount. I think it's $6,000 to get all in. You join now, you can get all in for like $2,800. So tremendous savings. That's huge announcement. And David Wood's about to announce, a bunch of other stuff. We're going to flip over to him to watch right now. Before we do that, we're going to come back when we're done watching this, and then we'll talk for a few more minutes and then let you guys go. But before we do that, Gary, do you have anything you wanted to add real quick?
Yeah, that's folks. That's a rollback. That's what I paid. Well, just about what I paid 2 years ago to get into Empower. So that's a great deal.
Okay, great. Mr. Iron Dane Richards, do you have anything to add before we roll over to you?
No, not really tonight. No.
Okay. Well, we got time to come back.
Working away today.
Okay, good. Well, you can switch it over. Let's watch that video. See what we got.
Okay.
Actually, I should blue box you.
Of course, we got the video out here too. If you just tell people comments to refresh, it might automatically start playing. But just tell them we're live. We're live. And you gotta make your eyes big like this. I'm just joking. Anyways, guys, those of you who are new, welcome to Empower Network. We're gonna be. I'm actually gonna share some really cool stuff tonight, so I want you to pay attention for however long it is we decide to talk. But if you actually, there's something I want to do before we get started. If you go, hold on just a second here. If you go into the chat below the video, okay, the chat below the video, there's a link actually in that yellow section. It says welcome. It says, first of all, there's a blue section above the chat. It says members only hangout tonight. Right below that, there's a small text section. It says welcome to tonight's webinar. We go live tonight at 9 p.m., which of course, was like 2 minutes ago. But then it says, please share this link on Facebook and in email. So here's what I want you to do. Copy that link. It's badasscontent.com/click this now. Now the reason, of course, the link has badass in it is because this live stream is going to be so badass. But actually, the Empower Network domain, like a lot of business from home stuff, has been blocked from Facebook for like 2 years. So we just kind of have this way of like overcoming that through this neat badass content domain. So if you actually copy that link, badasscontent.com/clip this now, let's all go post it on Facebook and just tell people we're live, and that'll make sure our teams know that we're going to be on. Hold on just 1 second. Hello. I'm posting a message on my wall, and then after I do that, I'm going to start talking. Hello, if you are. Hold on, if you are in Empower Network, we are live at. Just log in, and I'll meet you now. All right, fun stuff. Hold on just a second. I'm posting this. Hold on a second. If you're in Empower, repost this link and make sure your teams know we're here. All right, cool. All right, we've got that out there. So now that I've covered that, let's go ahead and get started. All right, and we're going to do some neat things tonight. All right. And what I really want to do is I want to bring out just different kinds of stories of people that are creating results, but also in the process I want to teach you guys how to make more money. Now, a lot of you guys who are on this are brand new to Empower Network either today or in the last couple of days. You especially need to pay attention to this hangout because I'm going to be talking about some things that literally are not just time sensitive, they're going to cost you thousands of dollars if you don't act on them now. There are some other things, too, though, that are opportunity windows that aren't going to come by ever again, all right? And the opportunity windows that aren't going to come by ever again are going to be both for getting all in Empower Network, I'm going to explain what that is tonight, but also we've got an event coming up the 26th to the 29th. I was actually just talking to Justin here, who's one of our $1 million earners, Justin Berengi. I think he's earned like $1.2 million. See our income disclosure at empowernetwork.com/income. But I got him on here, and you're actually just talking about it, right? And you're welcome to just interject in here, whatever, Dustin, and just kind of talk back and forth. But we were talking, you've got team members coming from where? Like, what countries are they coming from?
Just got off a team call. We have people, Connie Chan's coming from Hong Kong. I know Nate's originally from New Zealand. He came to our first event. Now he's in Mexico traveling the beaches of the world. He's going to be there. We got so many people from Australia. We got people from South America, people from Central America, literally all parts of the world. We got people from near Austria where AK is living. We got people in the Netherlands. We have Anders Finn coming from Sweden. He's actually going to fly down to Orlando and then rent a car and then drive up just because it made more sense and he wanted to link up with his friend and team member Hank. But literally people doing whatever it takes to get there. So Dave and I were just like, ain't it crazy how there's going to be people in Charlotte that don't get their ticket and miss out on the opportunity of a lifetime. Meanwhile, there's people traveling over 24 hours to be there. It just blows my mind.
Well, guys, a couple of things here. I want to just show you where you can do things, all right? And then I'm going to talk a little bit about why and what this means for a few minutes. And then my main purpose tonight is actually to introduce you to different people that are creating amazing results or have created amazing results in the last 10 days and talk about how they've done that and also kind of share what those results are as members of our community. So if you actually look, let's switch over here to the screen that I've got. I got distracted because Justin's going. So I've got the screen I've got here. Let's see here, me. I will do this, and so you're going to see something weird on the screen here for a second. All right, so you're on the Hangout, right? We got Justin's face here. It's always fun. Look at that.
Now, Dave, I'll just interject real quick. I don't think they're going to be able to see it unless there's audio coming from the screen, so meaning we can still see you, and it may be hard to see the little window that you're trying to show unless audio.
Hold on, let me switch where my audio is coming from then. My audio is going to go significantly down in quality for just a minute. I'm working on multiple computers here, high tech, because I couldn't figure out how to do this on one computer is the only reason why.
Cool. And I'll be right back. I'm going to grab a charger from my computer because I know these things die eventually.
All right.
I figured.
Yeah, we now it looks like we're in the main. So you see like a million screens within a screen.
Hold on.
There you go. You got it, bro. And just mute the other mic, and we'll go.
Yeah, mute the other mic, so we should be good. I think. Whoa, dude, why is that?
David Woods down in Costa Rica. That's his house in Escazú in Costa Rica. And in the background, you can see San Jose, Costa Rica. Now, he's talking to Justin Varengia, you know, great guy, good guy, and I'm sure they're about to get into stuff. But that clicking, I realized what that clicking was. I had that open on my screen, and it's all the comments, the people that were putting comments. There's no rhyme or reason to it. As soon as somebody did a comment and hit enter, there was a click, there was a pop. And I'm listening to the clicks. I'm listening to the clicks here and there. I go, idiot, you got the damn thing open over here. So it turned it off. So anyway, we'll go back and listen to him for a little bit more.
Hello.
Right now, no audio. I heard the hello echo, and then it went away. But right now, there's no audio. But we can just see the screen.
For whatever reason, dude, even when I'm muting out, like, hold on a second, when I'm muting out, like, the other computer, for whatever reason, it's not working properly. So if I can't do two computers at once, I'll just have to forgo doing a screen share. If you guys can actually see, can you see that, or can you still not see it, Justin?
I can totally see it, but the big window is you, because the audio's coming through you. I can click.
Forget it. So if you guys can see it, actually, even in the little tiny screen, we'll just work from that. And for whatever reason, I can't do this on two computers at once, and I'm going to go low tech here and just tell you what to do. So below the video, right? Below the video, there's two links. There's a link to buy tickets to our Charlotte event, and there's another link to get all in. All right. If you're not all in, you need to click that. You need to get all in, because there's going to be a time window if you're a brand new member here, and you're only going to have until that timer hits 0 before the price increases. And I promise you, when that timer hits 0, the price is actually going to increase. I'll explain what all in is tonight a little bit. The other thing you need to do is you need to register and you need to buy your tickets for Charlotte. So we've got links right below this webinar, and I apologize I can't actually walk you through them because my computer's being retarded, but you'll just have to go with me tonight. So let me get right into tonight and what I wanted to share with you guys. And this is going to feed into what we're doing in Charlotte, all right? But it's also going to feed into really what you should be doing for the next 2 weeks if you're a member of Empower Network. And if you just got in today, count yourself lucky that you got in at the right place at the right time in a window like this that we have available to us for the next couple of weeks. This is really a special time, and it's a special time not because we're making up some sort of hypish reason on why it's a special time. This is a special time because of what we've got going on. It's a special time because of what we're doing together. It's a special time because of how much sales we're doing, but it's also a special time because of some of the results that we're creating in our community. And so if you're here on this webinar tonight, you are in the right place at the right time, and I wanted to congratulate you on that. But if you want to take advantage of it, your time is running out. And you need to pay attention to everything that we share here. So
lost the screen.
Shut off distractions. Shut off the background. And for the next, 20 or 30 minutes, or however long we're going back and forth on here, I want you to take 100% of your energy and focus on the screen, focus on the words that are coming out of my mouth, focus on the intention behind them, and I want you to also want you to understand that if you pay attention to what I'm about to tell you right now, it's going to aid you in creating amazing results over the next couple of weeks. Whether or not you create those results is entirely, completely up to you. But what I'm going to teach you to do over the course of the next few minutes will aid in that process in a way that will dramatically enhance whatever you're doing. Now, if you're already getting results, the things that I'm going to share with you are going to help you get bigger, better results. If you're not getting good results, these are going to help you actually get your first results, okay? So first, let me do this. Let me tell you what you need to do, okay, what you need to do. if you want to capitalize on this window in the biggest way that you possibly can. I'm going to explain what, but then I'm going to explain how, and I'm going to do it in a short period of time, so pay attention, okay?
Hey Dave, a quick pattern interrupt. I was told by Alex and Travis, being you're the main host,
Hello?
you can just click on the window and it'll maximize for everybody. If you want to try that, we can try it.
Oh, yeah, I didn't realize that you were on the main window there. So is it better now?
Everyone comment, so click on it and let's...
Wait, hold on a second. Oh wait, they actually could see my, hold on, they could actually see that screen for a bit. No, it's still not doing it, dude. I've got some weirdness going on this Hangout. Here.
Oh well, oh well.
Yeah.
That was some good advice.
Well, you know, they'll come back here in a minute, and Gary, one of the things that I wanted to chat with you about specifically was, you know, in the last hangout we did, it was a Saturday morning deal. You know, I discussed a little bit about my theory on what's going to happen in Charlotte, and I've since come to a pretty clear understanding. And I was going to say this after this video, but we'll go ahead and do it now. And we're only going to watch him for another 15, 20 minutes. He's got some things to say, and then he may go on for an hour, hour and a half. You guys know that, so or longer. But I honestly think iPas2 is going to get rolled out, and they're going to offer it to everybody. That's what I think is going to happen. You know, it's been suspiciously quiet about iPas. There hasn't, Chris, you know, Jones isn't, you know, anywhere around, you know, can't be reached and so forth. So I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen. You know, they're putting a lot of emphasis into this iPas2. I mean, it has, you know, personally, I wish it was a different, you know, or it's going to be a different scenario. If they don't roll it out to the general public, that means we get it first, and we get it. It's our first team certainty. We get it. We're the first cracks at it. You know, Prosperity Group, which is what we're part of, so we get the first crack at the iPas2 and get to utilize it. I really honestly wish it had the ability to track other members or other units, other you know, MLMs and direct sales, take their entire sales force, and put it into the back office of Empower, and have ENB2 and all the Empower Network products now help them grow their business outside of Empower. I think that is a you know, that is a what do they call it? It's not a paramount. It's a a cataclysmic change. You know, a change of significant portions. You know, more than significant portions. And I wish that's what the announcement's going to be. If that truly is, if they actually are able to pull that off, you know, it will radically change the industry, you know, for the good. Because there's other people that will come behind them. You know, PowerNet will be the first one, but there's going to be other people that will come behind them and do the same thing. And if that's the case, then you may have 15 or 20 different places to choose from. You know, which is most likely what will happen. You know, just like right now, you got AWeber, GetResponse, and one other one. I don't know. I use AWeber, so, and those are the three players on the field. Now, there's been GBO and a few other people that have popped up. You know, there's a handful of monkey, whatever, and you know, for autoresponders. But you know, for the main focus, there's only a handful. And I think that these toolboxes, if you will, you know, I think that would be a huge infrastructure, you know, to organize, and be well worth the investment to do it. And empowers to one that, you know, can do it. So we'll see what happens in Chicago. I mean, in Charlotte. But I think the surprise is going to be iPas2. That's my guess.
Or a big part of it.
Yeah, Have you heard any rumblings about iPas2 or anything like that, Gary?
No, there's just a lot going on behind the scenes, like you said, and I think it's definitely going to be, you know, a part of, if not the main factor of what's happening here.
Well, it's been suspiciously quiet.
Yeah.
And it's not like, you know. And by the way, Mr. Iron Dame Richards, you know, when they come back live, just signal to me, yell at me.
Yeah.
You know, it's up. Okay, let's go ahead back and watch. We can talk about it.
It's not back up live yet. I'm just monitoring. So
okay. Well, if they do, then we'll jump in there and, you know, catch them for a little bit longer. Then they can be done with it. But you know, Chris Jones came out right before the end of May and announced I think it was about May 25th. You know, no, it was before. Yeah, it was about May 22nd, 23rd, early in May. And before Labor Day weekend, before New Orleans, and said he's not going to New Orleans because Dave Wood had talked to him and asked him to do a few things, and they changed up the iPas system now. And I do believe that this has something to do with that. It's just too suspiciously quiet, you know. And then right after, I think it was right after New Orleans, Jones came back and said we'll be announcing, you know, a few things in just a few days. Be prepared, you know, blah blah blah. Now said nothing, zilch. Oh, yeah. You know, and that's not like Chris, you know, and at least in my opinion. I don't know him that well, but you know, he's a guy that he's, you know, I mean, he'll stand up for what he believes, and if he says something, he'll come through with it, unless there's some real extenuating circumstances. So, you know, we'll see. There's been enough delays with iPas2 anyway, so you know. But I think that's what's going to happen in Charlotte. iPas2 will be rolled out, and everyone's going to, you know, get iPas2. Just for the new viewers that are watching and don't know what iPas2 is, iPas2 is a combination of software and back office support that you know, will run your back office. There's also a personal assistant, so that all you do is you generate leads that come into your office, and then other people talk to your leads on the phone and close your leads for you, all the way through the system. So you know, you don't have to do any work. All you do is pay for traffic or buy leads, send them into the top of your funnel, and as they come in, you know, the PBAs, personal business associates, will do all the communication, follow-up, closing, and sign-ups for you. And it's a pretty good deal. It's actually a very good deal. And it's my understanding, and I mean, the previous, we were all involved with iPas1, we had to pay those guys 20% of whatever they sold. And that was a good deal. But in iPas2, you don't pay them anything. So, you know, we'll see how that works out. But to me, that's pretty strong statement to make. So,
good.
You know.
Hey, Richard, that Hangout where they were will never start working again.
Yeah.
They're going to have to do a new one.
You might try and refresh a few things.
Yeah, I've been renewing the.
Just go to his Facebook
what I've been doing.
page.
Actually,
Go to his Facebook page and see if there's a new link. He seems to like to go that route.
I think we got him back up.
What it takes to get in front of people. So I'm proud of you, and we're going to come back to that in a minute. So if you're on the webinar here, we talked and then we got cut off in like 5 minutes, and I sincerely apologize for being cut off.
The funny part about it is I think he's showing a video, so we're on a Hangout, watching a Hangout that's watching another Hangout.
What to do between now and the Charlotte event.
Okay, Richard, whatever you can. Yeah, there you go.
One thing you need to do is get all in. There's actually a button right below this video to get all in. And if you're brand new to Empower, you've got 72 hours from the time that you join to get all in.
You need to share screen, Mr. Richards.
$1,000. I'm going to talk about what all in is in just a minute. I'm just going to tell you first. You've only got 72 hours.
No, all we see is your video.
No, I'm seeing it on mine. I saw it on mine.
Had it there for a second.
Zero. And it's a real thing, and I'm going to talk about what that is in a second. That's the first thing you need to do. The second thing that you need to do, The second thing that you need to do, you need to buy your tickets to Charlotte and plan on not just attending, you need to plan on for the next 2 weeks doing whatever you can to get there. Now, before you say it's 2 weeks away, I can't attend an event, I want you to listen to me here for a second. First event I went to in this industry was in 2002. I'd just gotten started in a really well-known company, and that event wasn't even announcing anything major like we're announcing in Charlotte. They really weren't doing anything new. It was just the event they had, actually an event called Free Enterprise Day. They had it once a year, and they had an event of 15,000 people in the room when they had that event. Now, I'd never been to a network marketing event. I'd never been to an event in this company. I'd actually never been to a business event of any kind before, but I met a guy in Phoenix, Arizona, who had flown into Phoenix on a private jet. He'd come into Phoenix, and it just blew my mind, number one, that he had a jet. But when he came into Phoenix, I went to this meeting, and there was like 1,500 people in this meeting. It was like this last-minute thing where they said, hey, Brad's coming in town. And he got up on stage and started talking about how he flew in on this jet. And my mind just kind of like went like this, because I was thinking, this guy has a jet. I mean, we could barely afford a van growing up in my family. My dad is a Superior Court judge, and this dude just flew into town on this like near jet thing, right? And he started talking, but he explained the reason he actually flew in on his jet was so he could go home that night and be home with his family and his kids and have dinner with his family and kids, really late at night after the meeting, because he explained you actually fly 3 or 4 or 5 times faster on a jet than you can on a commercial airliners, because you don't have to go through airport security. But in addition to that, the jet will actually fly faster in the air. And it just kind of stretched my imagination as to what I believed was possible, and I kind of just paid attention to every single thing that dude said for the rest of the night. Well, after that, I actually got a chance to corner him in a hallway. It took me kind of a while to weed my way through crowds of people. But I cornered him, and I just asked him what the secret was, right? And here's what he told me. He asked me if I was going to an event. The event was actually a little over 10 days away. I think it was 13 days away. So it was less time than we've got to get to Charlotte, right? And I told him I couldn't go. I told him, hey, dude, I can't get to that event. And you know what he did? He actually grabbed my shirt like this, pulled me into his chest like this, and leaned right in my face. Now, I was glad he was using my breath mint, or that might have like smelled bad in my face, right? But he pulled me in, right? And looked in my eyes. And he said, let me ask you a question, Dave. Can I answer you a question? And if I ask it to you, will you be honest, right? And I said, yeah. And he said, are you completely busted right now? And I said, yeah. And he said, are you serious about getting what you want in life? And I said, yes. And he says, are you willing to do what it takes in order to build this business? And are you willing to do it no matter the cost, as long as it's within your ethics and values? And I said, yes. And he says, are you willing to step up and to be the leader you need to be in order to build a team, in order to create what you want in your life? And I said, absolutely. He said, if I tell you what to do, if I tell you exactly what to do, are you going to listen to what I tell you to do, or are you going to fight me on it and do it your own way? And I said, I'm going to listen to what you tell me to do, and it doesn't matter what it is. And he says, then here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you that if you care about your future, and if you want success, and if you want to create a result, you need to buy your tickets to the event right now. And I don't care if you've got to crawl 3 states away over broken glass on your hands and knees. You're getting to that event, and I'm not taking any excuses from you. So are you going to get to the event, or are you going to keep pussyfooting around, right? And I was like that, because nobody ever talked to me like that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody had ever said the things that dude said. I was sitting there, and I was like, yeah. Well, here's the thing. I made a decision to go, and I bought my tickets. The tickets were about $150. And actually, no, they were actually closer to $200. So I bought the tickets, and I could barely afford the tickets, right? Let alone getting there. So I was trying to figure out a way to get there. And what I found out that there was somebody that I knew that was in town that was driving out there. And so I just kind of like hitchhiked with them and sat in the back of their car and slept on their floor in the room that they rented because I didn't have any money. In other words, I just kind of found a way to go. If you guys even go out there on Facebook and you're like, hey, I need to get from this town to this town, anybody going there, can I just kind of hook up with you? You need to ride a bus. Actually, on Facebook, I saw something and it's like, you know what? I had a choice to fly to the event or to get all in and go to the event on the bus. So guess what? I'm headed 5 states away in a bus. You know what I'm saying? I saw somebody else on Facebook that was like, I couldn't go to the event, so you know what? I'm hitchhiking. I'm leaving today, right? And they just start like hitchhiking across the country, right? There's people that are going to the event and they're riding in the back of someone's car. There's people flying from Germany, right? There's people that just got in today that are flying over from China, right? And there's going to be some dork bag who's in Charlotte who's like, I'm not going to go to that. You know what I mean? And there's people coming from like China and India and South America and Brazil, and there's like 70 people coming from Portugal. They're actually trying to get 100 coming from Portugal. You know what I'm saying? There's like 30 or 40 people coming from Spain. There's people coming from Costa Rica. Well, I live in Costa Rica, right? Yeah, so I don't really care what your excuse is. Here's what you need to know. Your time is running out, and literally there is not very many tickets available for sale. Click the button right now and buy your dang tickets, and bring somebody no matter what before the event happens, and don't make any excuses about it. Because here's the truth, is I don't take excuses for myself. If I want to do something, I don't make reasons on why I can't do it. I make reasons on why I can do it, right? I come up with what I call an opposite of an excuse, right? I don't know how to say excuse backwards, but that would probably be the word for what I do, which is I come up with reasons why I can do things, which is actually a better way to think. See, most people, when you present them with something that's difficult that goes against what they think is possible at the time, what they do is they start immediately injecting all these reasons why it can't happen into the universe. Oh, it can't happen because I don't have money. It can't happen because my wife won't like it. It can't happen because, I'm going to blah, 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 blah. Well, I don't know if I can make my money back. And they just start like putting all those things. Well, there's actually something else you can do. Which is reverse the excuse, which is actually just coming up with just as many reasons, but they're all the ways you can do something. And when you think like that, you can actually accomplish anything. It's amazing. So just for a second, if you're struggling to figure out how to come up with how to go to the event, or you're struggling with thinking how to come up with the money to go all in or whatever it is, let's take a minute together and let's brainstorm together. And this is actually a really fascinating way to get things done. I want to show you the power of this, and I want to give you guys an exercise, but this is also something that can get people to overcome things. Now, before I say this, I would never suggest somebody, rather than paying their rent, that they get all that, right? That is not for them. Those people need to go and figure something out, right, and get their life in maybe a little bit better situation. You don't want to be homeless, right, or something like that to buy some products to market, right, because we are building a business from home, and it makes sense to at least have one. I mean, I was homeless when I started, but the reality is that that's not what we're encouraging people to do, right? We're encouraging people to be resourceful. And this is the question I like to ask people when they're starting a business. And let me walk you guys through this process, because this is not just teaching. Remember, whenever I'm teaching something, I'm not teaching the thing. I'm teaching to teach. In other words, I'm teaching you to pass a message on, right? So whenever I'm communicating a message, my goal is not to get you to make a decision. My goal is to get you to make a decision, to get other people to make decisions, to get other people to make decisions. My goal is to create a chain effect every time I start something. So I want to teach this to you, because when you successfully walk through this process, you can successfully walk other people through this process. So let me teach you guys how to come up with resources, right? This is going to be an amazing exercise for you, because I'm actually not even going to suggest you do anything. I'm going to have you come out with a thing. But here's what you need to do. You need like a piece of paper or something like that. So I want everybody here, Justin, you too, let's do it together as the people that are on the webinar. I want you guys to pull out a piece of paper, and we're going to use this for goals and brainstorming. And we're going to take like 5 minutes together, right? And then I'm actually going to explain what all this stuff is, and then I'm going to give you a game plan between now and the next 2 weeks. And guys, this is not a time to jog and just kind of walk along, and this isn't the time to click around on Facebook and figure things out. This is the time to take massive action. This is the time to not sleep. This is the time to stay up drinking coffee to get to talk to another person. This is a special time. And if you listen, if you pay attention, I'm going to show you how to invent your own ways of doing things over the next couple of minutes, and this will make you into one of the most resourceful people in the world. Now, I'm not going to write on these, because these are actually contain some of my plans for the event coming up. I got like 20 pages of notes here. But in any case, this is just an example of paper. So grab a paper, grab a pen, all right? And now let's do an exercise. Let's actually, I'll give you guys 20 seconds because I got to go grab a piece of paper. Justin, grab one. Caroline, grab one. And let's walk people through something here real quick. Hold on. I got my piece of paper, but I'm going to go use the bathroom. So grab a piece of paper, and I'll be right back.
My favorite segment of the Hangouts are the live bathroom breaks. I started including that in the culture of my team stuff as well, just because if you drink a lot of water or coconut water or coffee, whatever you guys drink, you tend to have to go to the bathroom. And it's not good to hold it in the bladder and feel all uncomfortable and all that odd stuff. I just want to give a shout out again to Karina. I look on the leaderboard just now. You're number 16 in the affiliate contest, which gets me super, super excited. So congratulations. There's no doubt in my mind that you can be within the top 5. Just continue doing what you're doing. You may even be number 1. It's possible. I know it becomes possible the moment you believe it's possible, and I truly do believe that.
So let's go into first of all getting all in. We're going to cover one thing, and then we're going to cover the other thing. And I'm going to do this exercise with you twice. And Justin, I didn't actually need to cut you off. Were you down there, or were you still talking?
You're good.
Okay, so first thing I'm going to cover is what is all in. Because if somebody got in the other day and they're like, hey, can you explain what it means to be all in? Because I'm new and I don't know what that means. All in what, right? Well, we kind of came up with that term because it's representative of doing something. It's a series of things, right? What does it really mean to be all in? Number 1, it's to be clear on your vision, right? That's part of being all in, is knowing what you want, right? Knowing what you want. And we're going to talk about that in a second. Number 2 thing is understanding why you want those things, understanding your motivation. That's part of being all in. All in has a couple of parts to it. Knowing what you want, understanding your motivation. Number 3, though, is being all in is about having access to the knowledge that you need in order to achieve your goals and in order to use your motivation in the best possible direction. And that knowledge is going to come in the form of training and information, right? And there's a lot of different parts to building a business and being successful. There's a lot of parts to it, right? For example, if you're building an organization and you're building a business, and it could be Empower, it could be you're building something else. Whatever you're building is fine. We've got training to get you all the way through this process. Now, what are the parts of the process? Number 1, you've got to learn how to produce results, sell, and recruit. Okay? Now, it doesn't mean you have to be a good salesperson. You can use tools to sell and recruit, but even if you're using tools, you need to know how to sell and recruit. I'm going to talk a little bit about selling and recruiting tonight, because if you're doing direct sales, if you're building a business online, if you're not selling and recruiting, you're not going to make any money at all, right? You actually don't make money from recruiting. You only make money from selling products, but you also make money usually when your team sells products. And so if you're recruiting a person, which you actually don't make any money from. You do make money if they buy products too, but you don't make money from recruiting them. If you're recruiting somebody to sell products, right? Who's recruiting somebody to sell products, and so on and so on. These are the only 2 things we make money from at all, right? So you got to learn how to do that first. Then you got to learn how to build teams, right? Then you got to learn how to hold them together and build big organizations, how to develop leaders and things like this. There's this process that you go through that involves a lot of knowledge, and it's more useful if you know those things as you're building, and it's more useful if you know those things before you're building. If you really want to be able to produce big results, you really want to be able to get results. Now, why should you listen to the training and the information that we have, even if you're doing something else? Here's why. Is because we have done things that nobody's ever done before, and people are still perplexed by them, and nobody really understands them but us, right? In the last couple of years, for example, on the internet, we've produced more sales than any internet guru ever, right? We've actually done over $100 million in sales in the last couple of years. We've built over 300,000 customers, right, all across the world who are using these products to market all kinds of things, right? And we've actually created, I want you to think about this, see our income disclosure at empowernetwork.com/income, but we created 13 millionaires, 23 people over $500,000, 43 over $250,000, 143 over $100,000 in sales, and we've created a whole lot of other extraordinary outcomes, and I don't want to get into specifics even this month, and we have done it because of the quality of the products we sell, but also the information itself and the ability to utilize that to create results. It's better if you have the whole picture. So we said, why don't you just get all in? That's what we decided to just call that, because if you get all in, you have all the information that you need, you have all the products you need to create a result. Now, we've done $100 million in sales, actually more, but we've done $100 million in sales for those products at full price. We didn't actually create this window. If you're a new member, you've got till that clock hits 0, right? When that clock hits 0, it jumps up because we've done 100 million of that full price. We know what it's worth. So we're giving you this opportunity that's for a limited time. If you actually click the button to get all in, that time is the time you've got left, and that price is the price you've got left. And you need to do it right now, because the faster you do it, the faster you're going to be able to create results, because you're going to have access to the right kind of information, right? Does that make sense? So that's what it means to be all in, is to have access to our core product line, which includes the things I actually talked about in that video. If you click it, there's a 15-minute video that explains what that means, and I encourage you've got to do that before that time hits 0. So let's talk about that really quick. Let's talk about being all in, right? And so here's what we're going to do. We're going to pull out a pen and a piece of paper. Now, if you're already all in, still go through it's still fun, right? And I'm going to help you create, I'm going to help you learn how to create resources, right? And here's how we're going to do this. So if you grab this pen, piece of paper, right, I want you to write out a goal. And here's the goal that I want you to write out, right? Here's the goal that I want you to write out. I want you to write out the date that the time that you're going all in. And if you don't have the resources now, then that means, like, here's going to be what I'm going to encourage you to do. I'm going to encourage you to find a way to do it in the next 24 hours. To find a way to do it before that clock hits 0, because you want to do it at least in advance of that, because if you don't do it in advance, you might be trying to order, have it not go through, the price is going to jump up $1,000. So you want to do it far enough ahead of that, right, to where you can do it. Maybe you've only got 4 hours left, so you need to hurry through this exercise, right? I have no idea how much time you have left if you're watching this video. All I know is the time is running out, right? And then when the price jumps up $1,000, it's going to jump up like $1,000 again. So and then it's going to be full price, right? So you've got a very limited window here to do this, right? So here's the goal. Just write, I am all in, sitting in front of my computer, completing my order, right, on this day and this time. And just write when that is, and I'm going to give you like 20 seconds. So once again, I, David Wood, am all in. You know, I was all in years ago, so it doesn't really apply to me. But I'm all in, you know, let's say 15 hours from now, sitting in front of my computer, completing my order. I just submitted my order. Now, there's actually a few steps in submitting your order, and you can go ahead and describe this in your goal. And there's a reason I'm having you describe it rather than just write it, right? You're actually going to learn a little bit about goal setting when you go through the first module of the 15K formula, which is one of the products that are all in bundle, right? But one of the things you want to do with your goal is always describe it in present tense. But you always want to put a time stamp on it. If you don't put a time stamp on your goals, your conscious or your unconscious mind don't have any sort of mechanism towards seeking towards that outcome. It's just some sort of ambiguous thing that you may or may not hit at any point in your life, right? You want a time stamp on when you're going to do those things, right? And because this is also tied to how you're going to create resources. By resources, guys, I don't just mean money. I mean financial resources. I mean creative resources. I mean people that you know. People are resources, right? People are resources. Information is resources. Knowledge are resources, right? Money is a form of a resource. Energy is a form of resource, right? So I'm talking about creating the resources to be able to create your results and your goals, right? So I am all in. Write the date, write the time, right? And there's a couple of steps you need to follow. Number one, you need to hit the button in the order form. Number two, you need to fill out the credit card order form, and you need to submit it to make sure the order goes through. But then you actually need to download a physical copy of your order, sign it, scan it, and upload it. The reason we want you to do that is to make sure that you're the one that made the decision, right? Because in the making up of resources and finding ways to do things, it does not involve stealing, right? So we always have a way to confirm that people are real people, that's them making the decision that's you. So that's just part of it. You just download the form, you sign it, you re-upload it, right? And that protects both you and also protects the organization and everything like that. We actually have a person reviewing those, so if you use a Microsoft Paint signature, we're not going to approve the order, right? Then we're going to have to contact you. It's going to be a hassle. So just download it, sign it, actually scan it. And then upload that scanned form in your back office, and then we'll activate your order within 12 hours usually. Right? Usually it's faster if it's during the day. If it's the night, it's usually the next day, because it's actually a person sitting at a desk reviewing the orders after you fill in the form, hit the credit card submit button. So right at the time that you're all in, and imagine yourself for a second completing those steps. Right? So we've got the goal when you're all in. Right? And if you're already all in, you could actually do this with another goal. You could say, I'm getting 10 people to the Charlotte event. Right, here's how I'm doing it. I'm going to actually go through getting.
I don't know how much more his bandwidth is going to stand at, but you know, the viewers our viewers watching tonight are getting some kind of better, some good content from Wood. They don't get to see him very often, so I think they're getting a feel of what's going on. So let's go back and watch him for just a little bit longer, and then we'll call it a night.
Okay.
So we've got number one, your goal, right? And I've got a different goal. So my goal is related to how many people are going to be at Charlotte right now. So my goal is actually I'm going to have 2,000 people in the room, in Charlotte, in the room. And that means there's going to be 100 people sitting on the floor because we only have 1,900 seats. And we've actually sold like 1,700 tickets, and the seats are running out. So if you don't buy your ticket right now, you literally might not be able to get a seat. Look, there's no artificial scarcity. We're not playing around with the prices on the event tickets. The price is the price. It's just that if you don't buy your ticket, the space might run out. I believe there's almost 1,800 tickets sold, and if you don't get to the event, you might not be able to get a seat if you don't buy your ticket right now. You need to buy your ticket right now if you want to make sure you're a seat. If your team doesn't have a ticket, you need to reach out and say, hey, you need to get your ticket before somebody else gets your ticket because space is running out. So in any case, I have this goal. So 2,000 people sitting on the floor. Right, here's the next thing, right? The next thing is eliciting motivations, finding out why you want to do something, right? Why you want to do something. So right below your all-in goal, okay, right below your all-in goal, and I'm going to take a couple of minutes to do this one, I want you to list the sources you have for your motivation, right? Now, Justin, you're a hippie, so I don't know if you have any like soft-sounding hippie music that you play in the background for a minute. But if you do, if you could play some of that heavy meditation music for us, so I'm sure you got something like that because you do yoga and stuff. So what we're going to do is Justin's going to play some hippie music, right? And while the hippie music is playing, here's what I want you to do. I want you to come up with 5 reasons, 5 sources of motivation that are a real motivation, not like so I have money, not so I have the information, but when you have the information, what's that going to get you, right? What are you trying to create? Well, an example of the motivation would be, I want to make $5,000 a month. That's a weak motivation, right? But a positive motivation, a powerful motivation would be like this. I'm going to get all in because I want to learn how to make $5,000 a month in my business because I want to be able to stay home with my kids. That's a powerful motivation. So I want you to write, number 1, the motivation and the reason for the motivation, and make 5 of those, okay? So Justin, you have the hippie music ready?
I'm ready. This is third eye chakra activation. Here we go.
You're so weird. I love it. So in any case,
binaural frequencies.
We got binaural frequencies playing. You're so weird. I love you. All right. So in any case, while you're here, I want you to write out 5 sources of motivation, and I'm going to mute myself out, write my 5, and then I'm going to start talking again, and then we're going to get to the next step. So 5 reasons on why you want to do something.
Okay, Richard, Mr. Richard, you can go ahead and shut it off.
Okay.
He's gonna go for, he's taking a 5-minute break. But I think the viewers got a pretty good idea of how David Wood, on a scale from 1 to 10, that's about a 3 or a 4. I mean, he can be very dynamic, and he is dynamic. And when as we have seen him and been close to him live, and some of the techniques he has and he's learned over the years, are really, really good. But, he's going to go on for 5 minutes here. He's going to come back with the 5 deals and go through each one of his and explain, in detail, what they all mean and how you can interpret yours by his, and then wind it down from there. So, he did touch a little bit on the all-in deal, and at a 50% discount, 50% discount, which is available to people now, and that's going to be forever. I mean, not forever, but it's going to be, at least they say, for a little while now. So, as soon as you sign up, that's what the buttons are for below here. You have 72 hours to go all in and get all the products to help you on all your businesses, including Empower Network business as well. But we got a big announcement coming in the end of this month in Charlotte. It's going to be fun being there and listening to it live, and then obviously we'll report it and to our people and stuff, and team members that didn't make the trip, and prospective new members in a hangout as well. But it should be a lot of fun. Mr. Gary Smith, do you have any closing comments or things you want to chat about?
Yeah, it's just all good stuff. It's I think Dave Sharp stepping out kind of livened up Dave Wood. I think is what all this is about. It's almost an I'll show you deal, and we'll be the beneficiaries of it.
Well, yeah, I've got my theory on who's going to replace Mr. Sharp as well. You know, and
I think he already did. I think it's the CEO, and that's it. I don't think he's going to take a chance of.
It's not who I'm thinking. Oh no, it's not who I'm thinking. You know who I'm thinking.
Oh,
no names. Don't bring up any names right here.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm praying that's not the one.
I had a conversation with Mr. Iron Dean Richards today already. And I'll tell you when we're done here in the afterglow, that I think it's already taken place. I didn't even have to prime the pump, so to speak, which I was going to do. Pretty funny. Yeah, we'll talk about it.
You know that idiot salivating.
Well, we'll talk about it here in a minute. You know, he's just so dreamy. He's dreamy.
He's a new sheriff in town.
Oh God! Oh God! Holy mother! But no, Charlotte should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. You know, it should be a bigger crowd than was at New Orleans, and we saw there, and I'm really looking forward to the next event as well. But you know, as David Wood said tonight, you know, while we were watching him in the hangout, you know, there's no better time to sign up than right now. Right now is a very unique time to sign up, and we're certainly going to know that. We already know it now. Some of us, you know, what's going to happen at the end of this month. I personally don't know, but I do know that, you know, from the people that are outside of Empower Network that are coming in, you want to get ahead of them. You want to come in at the same time, and there's going to be some big players. Many names you may not recognize. But I would see after well, let's put it this way. I see Empower Network being twice the size it is or more by the end of this year. And that's a big statement.
Yeah.
That's a really big statement.
You know, and a lot of people watching, you know, may not think, you know, I can't sell anybody. I'm not a good salesperson, but I know this buddy that is just great, you know, and he's been, you know, internet marketing for a long time, and he's got a big old list. I know that for sure. Well, you need to get signed up and then get your buddy signed up. I mean, that's all there is to it.
Yeah, no, exactly.
I mean, you can make a boatload of money just doing that, just signing up the right person.
Mr. Iron Dean Richards, do you have any closing comments?
Oh, you know, the one thing I was thinking about, you know, when they were saying certain things, but it goes back to a gentleman by a Rabbi Shalom. He said, life's a dream for the wise, a game for the fool, a comedy for the rich, and a tragedy for the poor. So, you know, you got to pick what you want. One of those buttons may be the things to pick, if you know what I'm saying.
Right. I like that. I like that. It's very good, very good.
Oh, Richard.
You know, we'll see what happens. I mean, you know, the end of this month, I mean, it's coming real close. You know, look, you know, we're already halfway through 2014, and I can remember specifically on the Hangouts at the beginning of this year saying, you know, how's your 2014 going to be? You know, for prospective new members. You know, I mean, what's it going to be? You know, are you going to come all in, get in the group with us, and make the money that we're making at the highest level? I mean, now's the best time to do it. 50% discount. You know, Gary showed what, a $41,000 check he got from one of the deals we're doing. You know, that's your personal cut. You know, just the other week, you know, the stuff that we're doing. You know, Mr. Iron Dean Richard, you know, your stuff, Google front page. You know, the stuff that I'm doing. You know, mergers and acquisitions. You know, and the business credit. You know, it's the stuff that it's all meshes together to work. You know, and utilizing the Empower Network products that give you unlimited inventory and 100% discount or 100% you know commissions. You know, you get to sell 100 times, you know, as many times as you want to. You have to buy the product one time. Once you go all in, you got all the products. You sell every one of them 100 times. You know, unbelievable good stuff. So I'm really looking forward to the end of this month and really looking forward to, you know, the rest of this year with Empower Network. So it should be a lot of fun for everybody, continuing to make money, and it's just going to step it up a notch, you know. And we hope you viewers, come on board with us as well. So thank you for your time tonight. I hope you enjoyed David Wood, a little bit of, you know, what he's like. Justin Brenja, great guy, good guy. Jedi Warrior, I think is his nickname, and a good guy. He's a new daddy, and so is David Wood, by the way. So congratulations to both of them on Father's Day that's coming up, and both you guys too, Mr. Iron Dane Richards and Mr. Gary Smith. Hope you guys enjoy your Father's Day, which is here in the States, coming up this weekend. So again, thank you for viewers for the time tonight. We do these Google Hangouts twice a week. We do it this time period from 8 to 9 p.m. Central Time, and we also do it from 11 a.m. to 11:30 or so Saturday mornings, and that's for questions and answers primarily. And that's what the tab on the side of the page over here is a support ticket. Click that, punch it, or type in your question. Support will answer it, and then if they deem it appropriate, we'll get it out to the general public and answer it as well live on our Saturday morning. It's a little bit more casual on Saturdays. We certainly welcome you back here then at the same time as well. And again, if you're watching this Google Hangout live or on replay on one of our YouTube channels, broadcast page, or possibly listening to it on a radio broadcast station we broadcast over the internet, thanks for your time tonight. Certainly appreciate your time. And again, I hope you got to see a little bit of David Wood. And I personally want to thank Mr. Iron Dane Richards and Mr. Gary Smith below. Fellas? Yeah. Thank you, sir. Fellas. And we'll see you all next week, or actually this coming Saturday morning, 11:30 a.m. next time we're here. Thanks, everyone. Take care. Enjoy your Wednesday night.
Take care, guys.